to lesson 5. One thing we've been talking a lot about this year is how in the past, how many of us would avoid those darn word problems at the bottom of the page? Absolutely. And how many people would see that darn word problem at the bottom of the page and go, okay. But now, we've been working very hard this year on deconstructing those word problems. We've been working very hard on using strategies, highlighting and labeling to break them down to manageable pieces. Today, we're going to look at it from the other side. Word problems might not be so scary if we try writing some of our own. Once we see what goes into writing a word problem, maybe when we see the word problems, they won't be so, and they'll be more, I got this. Okay, so our goal today is to go from to oh. All right, let's go, turn back the clock Tuesday, all the way to Module 2, Lesson 1. The very first example we saw was 12 divided by 3. Remember that? That was the very first one. Boys, please. We looked at it like this, where our whole quantity was 12, and we said, okay, we divided it into 3 groups. Okay? When we had 3 groups, how many were in each group? Right. 3 groups, 4 in each group. The other way we looked at it, we had our quantity of 12, and this time we made groups of 3. So groups of 3 for a total of 4 groups, right? Those each have a name. Those 2 different types of division, even though they're both 12 divided by 3 equals 4, this one means 4 in each group. This means 4 groups. So let's take a look at what these both mean. This picture is actually in your notes. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. Last year, there are some things we just have to work harder at learning. So a lot of times when students say, is this easy, is this hard? And I don't like to answer that because what's hard for one person might be easy for another person. It's not easy or hard, it just means some things you might have to put a little more effort into. I'm going to tell you the truth. I think I'm pretty good at math. I like math. This was something I had to put a little more effort into. I worked very hard, and then when I realized what it was, I was like, oh, that's it? So if you ever get frustrated and you can't learn something, just tell yourself, all right, I can't do this yet. Because with a little more hard work, you'll get it. And I finally got this. So let me get it to you. The first type of division is partitive division. And we can think of it as PS. When we do partitive division, we're looking for the size of your group. Okay? So if it's 6 divided by 2, so I have 2 groups. So 6, that's my quantity. That's my dividend. Okay, so I have 6 items. And now 2 is how many groups? I want to know the size of each group. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Whoops. 1 here, 1 here. So 6 divided by 2 groups means there are 3 in each group. So let's go back and look at this. Which one is partitive? Which one shows us how many are in each group? Very good. That was terribly written. So now let's look at the other method. Measurement. Think of it as the letters of the alphabet, M and N. Measurement is we're looking for the number of groups. So we're going to take 2, because we're at 6 divided by 2. 2, 2. So how many groups did I make? 3 groups. So that's measurement. You should be writing this in your notes. So this one is measurement. Okay? So now that we know the 2 types of division, today we're going to focus on measurement division. So you can highlight at the bottom of your note page. When we know the original amount and the size or measure of one part, we use measurement division to find the number of parts, the number of groups. So you can tell when a question is asking for measurement division because it asks how many blanks are in blanks. So this case was how many 2s are in 6. That's what we just looked at. How many groups of 2 are in 6? Today we're going to look at only measurement. Tomorrow we'll look at partitive. This isn't something you need to worry too much about. It's an introduction. I want to expose you to it so you understand what it is, okay? I'll practice it some more. All right, put your pencils down. So, Mom baked 12 cookies. She wants to put 3 in a bag for her children to bring to school. How many bags can she make? Let's take a look. First of all, here, our first sentence tells us our quantity. Mom baked 12 cookies. That's what I have. That's our quantity. That's our dividend. She wants to put 3 in a bag. How many bags? How many bags means how many groups. So this is measurement division. So 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. So how many groups was she able to make? 4. 4 groups. So that's our quotient. So now when you are writing your own word problem, there are 5 steps that you need to follow. If you turn your note page over, you can highlight on the top and back of the first page the 5 steps. Now these are the 5 steps that I want you to also use on your homework tonight. So exactly what we do in class, you're responsible for doing on your homework. You're going to write step 1, step 2, which you'll see we're going to practice it. It's 5 steps, it's a couple words, it's not that difficult. And even on the quiz, I'll have the steps written out for you. Okay? So step 1, decide on an interpretation, either measurement or partitive. We're going to do measurement today. 2, draw a model. 3, find the answer. 4, choose a unit. 5, set up a situation. The situation is where you get to be creative, engaging, thoughtful, interesting. Basically, you want to break it down into 3 sentences. Your first sentence, you're going to have your quantity. Your second sentence, you're going to have your other group or your part. The third sentence should be your question. So just 3 sentences. And if you think about it, that's all a word problem is. Find your quantity, find your group, and what are they asking us? Okay, so that's what you should set up for 5, your 3 sentences. Let's practice with the one that we just did so that we know how to do our own. So let's break down the word problem we just did so we can see how it was created so then we can create our own. So 12 divided by 3. Our interpretation, we said today we were going to use measurement. And there's really no right or wrong answer here. Yes, you're writing this down in your notes. There's really no right or wrong answer as long as your model matches your method. How's that for an alliteration? Your model matches your method. Because we saw from the opening that one division equation could be solved both ways. So, as long as your model matches your method, so don't panic. Oh my gosh, what is it? Today we're only solving using measurement. So let's draw our model. We have 12. Now when we're doing measurements, what are we looking for in measurement? For measurements, we want to know the number of groups. So let's write that as a reminder. Measurement, we want to find the number of groups. How many threes are in 12? That's what you should be asking yourself. In measurement, we're trying to find the number of groups. Write this down in your notes, in your margin. It's a good strategy to help you remember what they mean. So we're drawing our model. If our whole thing is 12, I want to know how many threes, how many groups of 3. So let's see. Here's a group of 3. 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 How many groups did I make? 4. You have a good teacher. You knew that right away. All right, 4. Let me write that in green so it's easier to see. Now, units. Unit could be, oh, thank you, anything you want. My favorite unit, what was the unit in this example? Cookies. So our unit was cookies. And here was the situation. Mom baked 12 cookies. Right there, first sentence. Our quantity or our dividend. Write that down. Second sentence, she wants to put 3 in a bag for her children to bring to school. So second sentence gives us our groups. Third sentence is telling us whether it's measurement or partitive. Since it's measurement, how many bags or how many groups can she make? How many bags means number of groups. Now let's try one with a fraction. And this is exactly what you're going to have to do for your homework. So for your homework, you'll be given a division equation. And we're back to good old-fashioned problem set. Nothing in the packet. So on your homework, on a sheet of loose leaf paper with your heading, you will write you'll copy the division equation. Okay, so, yes, you have this in your notes, but on your homework, you would write this out. So we're looking at how many 1/8 are in 1/2. And for measurement, we're looking for the number of groups. I'm just going to write these notes in my margin as a reminder, as helpful. You're writing this. That's what I just said. Oh, don't make me read one at a tape. That's exactly what you're going to write that. Okay, so we decided today we were using measurement. And remember, you really could choose either one as long as your model matches your method. But I'm telling you, you're using measurement today. Okay, so let's draw model. Wait a minute. 1/2 divided by 1/8. What should I do before I divide those? What do we need?
The model.
Before I draw my model, it's not model worthy. It's not model worthy yet. Let's make some common denominators. What would we like our denominators to be? Sure. So 4/8 divided by 1/8. Does anybody have a question where the 4/8 came from? Question where the 1/8 came from? Anything? No? You sure? Okay. No, I like that confidence. Now we may draw our model. So let's draw 4/8. So, hello. That was wrong. All right, I made my one mistake this year. Okay. Shh, boys and girls, please. So, 4 out of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer is 4. There are 4 groups of 1/8 and 1/2. There are 4 groups of 1/8. We don't have to write it, but we can. That would be part of your answer. There are 4 groups of 1/8 and 1/2. That could be part of your answer.
Wait, what's our unit?
Oh, we're not up to that. Is that straight? Is that better? Okay. There are 4 groups of 1/8 and 1/2. All right, so now we get to be a little creative. So we can choose our unit now. We could use pounds of candy, yards of ribbon, pound of flour, cup of flour. 3, 2, 1. You could use length of wood, whatever unit we want. What could we use? We could use reindeer food. What do you want it to be? Candy. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to look at pounds of candy. So when we set up our equation, here is our hint. Start with the quantity. We're trying to figure out how many 1/8 are in 1/2. So what do I have? What is my quantity? What am I starting with? Okay, so that would be our first sentence. So Allie has half a pound of, what's your favorite candy? Nerds, okay.
Reese's. Yeah. I like Reese's.
Each she will give each friend 1/8 of a pound. Same unit. So now my second sentence has my second group in it. Now our question is, remember, we're trying to find how many groups. How many groups? How many friends can get candy? So by looking at how many friends, that's really our groups. So your 3 sentences, your quantity, your group, and your question. Your question should always match, gentlemen. You should be writing this down. Your question should match the type of division that we're doing. So measurement means number of groups. So what's the number of groups of 1/8 can Allie make? And what do we know? We know that it's 4. But we don't have to put that down. We already have the answer. So your homework tonight, on loosely, step 1, write all the words. And if you look at the problem set, the words are already there for you to follow. Making sure you have your heading on your loose leaf. Question 1 on the front, question 2 on the back. with all 5 steps labeled and written out.